All right, ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing like being in the green room, and you've got the smiling folks out there. They're ready to make it happen. So all the Make It Happen authors, say hello to everybody. Say hello to all the folks that are out there watching who are showing up for one reason and one reason only, because they're ready to make it happen in their business, ready to make it happen in their relationships, ready to make it happen in their health. Heck, they're ready to make it happen in their life. And I know y'all are bringing the best. So for everyone that's out there right now, they showed up to change your life. And they'll do that if you let them. So let's find out who they are, because you're going to get to write up and see all that. So we'll go around. I'm going to ask each one of them, who are they, where they're broadcasting from, and what the name of their chapter. So we're going to start off first with the one and only Martese. So Martese, if you will, jump right in. Tell us your full name. Tell us the name of where you're broadcasting in from, and tell us the name of your chapter.
So my name is Martese Bromfield, and I am broadcasting all the way from Los Angeles, California. And the name of my chapter is Loving Yourself in the Presence of Others.
Loving yourself in the presence of others. You got to tell us, why did you pick that chapter? The topic of that. Yeah, why did you pick that topic?
Well, you know what? That topic resonates very closely to home for me. It's a personal message because sometimes, I know for me as a woman, it was a challenge for me to just really step out of my own way and out of my comfort zone and just put myself out there. And I needed to do it not only privately, with who I am in my immediate circle, but now it was important for me to just take my message globally and do it in the presence of others. So that was the reason why I came up with the topic, loving yourself in the presence of others.
Love it. In 60 seconds or less, what would you say to the person out there that's worked all day, they're dualpreneur, worked and working all evening in their business, but they're up watching right now. They're tuned in right now. They're like, gosh, why should I even pay attention? I mean, I'm so tired. It's been a long day, but I like it. I like what I'm hearing. What would you say to that message to that single mom or single dad or married couple that's out there right now and they're hanging in there? What's your message to them right now?
You know what? The work begins in the after hours. It's not what you do during the day, but it's the after hours that counts. And that's what it means to make it happen. So it's not a matter of the 8 to 5 or the 9 to 5 work. It's what you do in the after hours that matters the most.
I love it. The after hours. Okay. Well, depending on what time they are in the world right now, some are waking up, some are just eating lunch, and some are just hanging out right now. So welcome. All right. We're going to go next to the one and only Judy over there. And we're going to ask Judy as she unmutes herself as well. We're going to ask her the same question. Tell them your full name, Judy. Tell them where you're broadcasting in from. And they want to know the name of your chapter.
Hello, everybody. My name is Judy Ambrose James, and I am from Pasquotank, Mississippi, but I'm broadcasting from Selma, Texas. And the name of my chapter is Activate Faith.
Activate faith. Now, you heard me ask the last person the same question, so you might already know your answer, which is why that chapter, and of course, why now?
Well, why that chapter is because because of coronavirus. Now, I've been through a massive stroke and a coma, and I could have chosen anything to do with those two, but I was taking a walk through my house, and there all of a sudden there was the latest stats was on with coronavirus, and I felt bad. I sat down and I shed a tears, and I heard the voice, Activate Faith. I asked what could I do? I know I wasn't a frontline worker. I know I didn't have ties. But I wanted to do something, Activate Faith.
Activate Faith. We're super excited with Activate Faith. Can't wait to hear more. I can hear the passion. Ladies and gentlemen, they're all fired up. They're all passionate. Don't worry. Hang in there. When we get to the other side, we're going to ask them more. Don't worry. All right, we're going over to the one and only Von Griggs, as everyone else is going on mute, I'm sure. We're going down to Von Griggs. And Von Griggs, you're here. You're here. You made it. Tell them your full name. Tell them where you're broadcasting in from. And, of course, the name of your chapter.
Hello, everyone. Yes, I am Von Griggs-Laws, and I am tuning in from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma tonight. The title of my chapter is Finding Joy on the Journey.
Now, you can't leave us there. I mean, joy means different things to different people. It really
Absolutely.
does. So what does joy mean to you? Give us the 60-second version. What is your definition of joy?
The definition of joy is experiencing what you have to go through day to day, week to week, and be happy about it. And I find that as people do mundane things, they're taking jobs that they're not satisfied with, they're going through motions, but they are not enjoying life.
But it's time for them to enjoy life. It's time for them to do things to make it happen. And I can't wait to hear more. The audience can't wait to hear more. Thanks so much. We're going to learn so much about you. They're ready. We're going to go over to Dr. Nefertina. I hope I got that right. Dr. Nefertina over there right now. And we're going to ask her the same question. Tell us her full name. I know y'all Googling these folks. Y'all looking for them. I know y'all are. Tell us where she's broadcasting in from. And then you know what's going to happen by now. She's going to tell you the name of the chapter.
Yes, I'm ready. Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Nefertina Serrano, the marriage CEO, and I am broadcasting live all the way from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, city of brotherly love and sisterly affection. And my chapter is When Time Collides with Destiny.
When Time Collides with Destiny. All right, tell us about it.
Well, when time collides with destiny, miracles happen. It's an opportunity when you are birthing out and you become and the person that God has put you on this earth to be. So it's a time when you can leave those things behind and move forward so you can make it happen.
Make it happen. I can't wait to get to the other side, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all are in for a treat, I promise you. Karen, we got a show to get going. We got to get going, but I got to give you some time. You're the visionary. You kind of put this together, but not just you, but all the folks you brought together to bring their expertise, to bring their experience, so they could just serve others. Take a moment and tell us what's the whole backstory, and obviously 90 seconds or less, behind Make It Happen. And more importantly, why do you decide now is the right time to launch this?
Well, I decided because God said you needed to do it, right? So this title came to me years ago, almost 15, 16 years ago. And so even with my first book, Trailblazers Who Lead, this was one of the titles that I was considering. This time, even though I hesitated, God made sure to let me know, Shay, that this was something he had me doing. He gave me Isaiah 60:22, and he shall make it happen. So when he comes to you that way, even though you're like, Lord, do you really want me to do this? Because you know I'm not really a writer. And so that being said, yes, that's what he gave me. And so I'm walking out because I believe, Shay, stories are not your stories. They're somebody else's story, and it's meant to be shared. And with our projects, we make sure that our writers go global. They get visibility on a global level.
Wow. Well, I tell you one thing, they're going to change some lives today. For everyone that's watching right now, we've got a show. We're going to get started. It's my favorite part, by the way. In 5, don't worry, meet us on the other side. 4, they're going to go in detail. 3, we got to go. 2, 1, it's showtime. We'll see you on the other. Promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step Yeah. And they stay there. And they stay there. And they stay there. Cause all I do is win. Yeah.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country where we're on a mission. And our mission is to empower. Our mission is to inspire. And our mission is to provide you, that's right, you watching right now, you the entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that huge vision you have for the people you will call to serve. And I always like to start off every program saying that you only, I believe, have 3 core visions. I believe first you have a vision for yourself. There's a certain home that you want to be in right now, by the way. There's a certain line of food that you want to eat. I hope it's organic, by the way. But there's a certain lifestyle that you want. And it takes revenue to purchase all those resources. And then the second vision I believe you have is you have a vision for those folks you love the most. And isn't that how it is? The kids you want to send to a school of their choice. We were talking behind the scenes. Some of you want to write a check for a cause that you really believe in so it can do good for someone else. And it takes revenue. It takes resources to make that happen. And then the third vision you have is you have a vision, well, for those people out there, those many folks that you were called to serve. And I always like to share the story of Noah in the Bible. And you don't have to be a believer, but you think about Noah, right? Like, think about it. He could just went and got himself a little boat over here, put his family in the boat, put a couple goats in the boat, maybe some chickens. Some of y'all want to carry a hog in there. I know, push the hog in there. Got to have the hog. And he would have been just fine. But no, that's not what he did. He had a vision, I believe, given from God. I believe a vision and experience and expertise. And he was bigger than him. So he said, I got to do this project. Now imagine before he did the project. Imagine if there was a knock at the door. Bam, bam, bam. And someone said, yo, Noah. I always say they said yo back in the day. There's a problem. There's no hammer in the house. And he said, oh, man, okay. Then someone else knocked at the door. Shorty. And they did say shorty back in the day. I don't know where you were. And they, what's up, man? There's no nails. No hammer, no nails. I'm good. Someone says, Noah, and they're all the way in the back. They're screaming and yelling, and they're waving their hands like this. We got a big problem. There's no wood, and there's no people to put the boat together. Good luck on this mission. And maybe that's where you are right now. It's time for you to make it happen. And you need those resources. So this morning, this evening, this afternoon, no matter what time it is, the Make It Happen group here to change your life. What's up, ladies? Say hello to everyone that's here to change their lives. Give them a little energy. Push out a little love. Push out a little, there you go. You give them a little love. They're here for you and to change their lives. So we're going to just jump into it, okay? We're going to start off with the one and only Martese. And she's going to start off in just a moment, and I'm going to ask her about her chapter. And I want you to listen very, very carefully because it's a good opportunity to understand the lessons that she's learned. And don't worry, each of them are going to share it. Now, do me a favor before we get started. If you're out there watching right now, hit the share button. Just do it right now. If you want to make it happen for someone else, maybe you got it all going on, hit the share button. And when you hit that share button, just put up an area that comes up, just put hashtag make it happen. Just put hashtag make it happen because it's all about the Make It Happen anthology. It's going to happen right now. So Martese, as we come over to you, take a moment. Some folks were in the green room. Tell us your name, again, where you're broadcasting from. And it tells a little bit about the chapter. How does this chapter help someone make it happen? That's the question. How does this chapter help someone make it happen?
Mm-hmm. My name is Martese Bromfield. I'm broadcasting from Los Angeles, California. And one of the takeaways actually that someone can gain from reading my particular chapter, Loving Yourself in the Presence of Others, is there are 3 techniques that I believe that each of us need to take in order to change our lives. The first step is that you have to be bold. You have to be extremely bold and courageous. You have to be so bold and believe so much in who you are as a person, but you have to most importantly believe in what it is that you bring to the table. And the other thing is, as I mentioned, is you have to be courageous. You have to be courageous enough to actually act on the things that you actually believe in. You know, it's kind of like having a dream and then just letting it sit and fester and just not doing anything about it. And so for me, when I was writing, this particular chapter, I knew that there were things that I needed to include in my chapter that would allow others to be able to read the chapter and then be able to immediately implement things that they can do. So you have to be bold, you have to be courageous, and most importantly, you have to take action on the things that you want to have, come to fruition. So whether you're working on, a new career, whether you're working on, going back to school, whether you are working on maybe improving your finances, you need to do whatever it takes, as they say, make it happen to bring it to fruition.
When you say,
so that was the takeaway in me putting this chapter together.
When you say make it happen, and you talk about being bold, I'm wondering, as Dr. Nefertina is sitting over there, when you said the word bold, and we're going to come back to you in a moment, I wonder what's going through her mind right now when she says you've got to be bold, you got to step into it. Dr. Nefertina, can you take a moment and kind of share, when she said you got to be bold right now, what's kind of going through your mind? We want to know.
I was just thinking when she said bold, is taking a stand. You got to be willing to take a stand and not back down. There comes times in our lives when we just have to stand up for ourselves.
Absolutely.
And be present for ourselves.
We got to be present for ourselves. Said so well. Martese says, you're there now. Folks might be curious. Why did you decide to share in this book? I mean, you could have taken your story and did a whole lot of things, but what have you enjoyed most about being part of the Make It Happen anthology?
It was really important for me to share in this particular book with Kearn because, I believe in the power of collaboration. And I think it is important that we connect with people who know more than we do. And for me, it was about connecting with Kearn. Like I shared before in a previous segment, I met Kearn through the Success Women's Conference. And for me, it became a no-brainer when not only was I a speaker there, but it just kind of became the segue for me to participating and becoming an author, not only just locally, but as Kearn has said on numerous occasions, globally. And so for me, it just became, like I said, a no-brainer for me to just participate and really want to pour into other women who are looking to use their voice as a stepping stone to share their stories.
A stepping stone to share their stories. As folks are tuning in, they're watching, and we're looking behind your shoulder because we're all nosy. I'm nosy, and I know they're nosy that are watching, by the way. And they knows you strategically, and maybe it was by accident. But for Mavis that's watching right now, for Richard that's watching right now, for Gina that's watching right now, Homer, what's going on? Michelle, thanks so much for joining. Cheryl Graham that's out in California as well, and so many folks. They're peeking over your shoulder and like, okay, she got strategically right behind her, empowered to be empowered. I mean, it's right there. I mean, it's a reasonable question to say, what's the significance of that? Like, why did I have to be in the shot, and what does it mean to you? So take up 90 seconds or so and kind of share why that's important, so we understand the backstory. And for you out there watching and you listening at home, pay close attention.
You're right. And let me just give you kind of some background information. For me, empowered to be empowered, to empower. That is strategically placed there, but it's also a reminder that when I step down into my office here in my home, it reminds me that the work that I'm doing is not necessarily for myself. For me, personally, I am a woman of faith. I'm a child of God. And when someone comes in contact with me, that is my opportunity to be of service and a blessing to someone else. So my first source that I have to connect with is the man, my grandmother used to say, is the man upstairs. It's called Dr. Jesus. And so at the end of the day, I am empowered, not necessarily through my own strength, but through that which he gives me. So I am empowered through him to be a blessing to others. So that's what that means.
I love it. Karen, you're the architect behind this. Take a moment for those folks that are tuned in, that are watching right now, and tell us why this chapter, and more importantly, why now? I mean, the committee could have picked a number of different chapters and selected a number of different folks, but you said, no, this needs to be told, and this needs to be told now. Talk to us about why.
Well, like Martese said, we met at Success Women's Conference, and there were several powerhouse speakers, and she's one of them. And that being said, I just looking at Martese's story and knowing you can look at it and you say, well, just her energy says powerhouse, right? You can just feel it through the screen. And so that being said, I love in her chapter how she says, don't be afraid to be a badass, right? Yeah, claim it. It's okay to own yourself, own what you have. Don't let nobody take that power from you. And so often as women, we stand back. We're worried about what somebody else think. I'm sorry, men are just more bolder, and they step up and they claim theirs. Even if they ain't good at what they do, they claim it anyway. So I love the fact that she's encouraging women to be bold, stand up and, and love yourself. Stop letting people influence your beliefs, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So I mean, how could I not?
Yeah, I love it. Very, very powerful. We're going to go over to Von Griggs in just a moment to learn more about her chapter and what she wrote. So thanks a lot, Kearn, for sharing. Martese, I know you're coming back. It's amazing. Von, down there, making it happen. She said, we're going to make it happen, Shay. We're going to make it happen. We got to witness that real time, by the way. And it's because of a team of folks that said, hang in there, a little bit longer. And so it made it happen. So tell the folks, if you can, your name, obviously, again, the name of your chapter. And the same question I asked a few minutes ago is, what's the message in the chapter, and I know you can't give it all away, that can help someone else that's tuned in right now?
Yes, absolutely. So again, I am Von Griggs-Laws, and the title of my chapter is Finding Joy on the Journey. As I said, I know all too well what it is to show up and to function, but you're not happy. You can have success, whatever success may look like to you, and we are going through life, but we're not pleasant. We're not enjoying life. We're really not grateful for all of the blessings that we have. And so you can make other folk real miserable on your job when you're grumbling and complaining. You're never satisfied. And then the caveat for that, Shay, is oftentimes as women with children, we put our lives on hold. Well, when I just get Johnny out of the house, I'll be better off. When I get this, I will do better. Or I'll start traveling when I am an avid traveler. I said I'm coming in from Oklahoma, just arrived here at about 8:15 tonight. I've had the opportunity of visiting and living in 18 countries. I have visited and worked in, for joy and pleasure, 47 states. So I only got a few left to visit before I leave God's earth. And so I run into people all the time. Some of my clients that I coach, they're putting life on hold. And if this pandemic has showed us nothing else, tomorrow is not promised. Today is not promised. That's why I love so much about your segment, Shay, when you say, hey, today is my January 1st. What are we planning to do with today? Really, today, this very moment is all that we have. And when we can start sharing the gratitude for what we do have, and people can see you showing up, and you're showing up as my co-author said, you're bold, but you're not bold with a nasty attitude. You're bold with value. Right?
Bold
Why?
with value.
Because I enjoy just where I am. And there's something about life that I'm going to have a good time. I don't care where you put me. I'm going to get through it. I'm going to make it happen. And put me in the desert. I promise you, if it's nothing else but looking up at God's sky, I can find pleasure in the opportunity. And so getting through life, enjoying life, not being a murmurer and complainer, being gracious for what we have. And I tell people all the time, if what you have right now is no longer serving you, why are you holding on to it?
So let me jump in and ask a question. You were spot on, by the way. For those folks that are out there, by the way, do us a favor. I'm going to ask her in a moment why this book. She's done a number of things, and why the Make It Happen anthology and the team and what it represents and the mission. You know, what have she enjoyed most about being in the Make It Happen book? And for you at home, or are you listening in the car and we're in your ears right now, or maybe you're working in your office, do us a favor. Hit the share button. Like, hit the share button. We believe in the giver's economy. The person that outgives the competition out-earns the competition. The person outgives the competition out-earns the competition. I want you to pay this message forward. Hit the share button right now. Bless someone else and help someone else make it happen. All right, back over to you, Vaughn, as you tell us now what you've enjoyed most about being in the Make It Happen anthology, and why you decided to participate in this project. And don't worry, coming up, your colleagues, Judy be coming up next. Don't worry, y'all. The best is still yet to come. And then we have Dr. Nafetina will be coming up as well. So we've got a show. I mean, they've got more. They've got more. They're just getting started. All right, tell us this why this book and why now?
Well, I've been in 3 anthologies over the last 10 months. And if you know Kearn Cherry very well, she is a coach beyond coach. I've known Kearn for close to 18 years now. And she said to me, she says, I don't know why you're not doing this. I don't know why you do it for everybody else. When are you going to do it for yourself? When are you going to show up and start sharing your own story for you? You know, so it was the opportune time. I had the time to sit and focus on like which one of these millions of stories do I want to share and how to make them applicable for the time and season that I'm personally in, and what I thought would be beneficial to our reading audience as well as our virtual audience. So it was just time. As my co-author said, it was destiny. It was time.
It was time. Now is the time. Now is the time to make it happen. Karen kicked off and asked right after the last person, why this chapter, why this individual, and why in this book?
Well, you heard her, 18 years. It's about time. I'm just going to say that right off the bat. It's about time. I have known Vaughn for, I would say, like she said, almost 20 years. And I watched her pour into so many other people. She's passionate about so many different things and her gifting. And I'm like, you know, it's time to start taking care of you. It's time to start sharing out you. We see all the things you're doing, but nobody still really knows you. You know, when you share a chapter in a book, people start to get a little insight on who you are. That's why I encourage people to share more than one story a year. 2 to 3 a year minimum is how many stories, chapters you should be sharing. And remember, this is not her life story. For this woman shared her life story, I'm going to have to get a couple bookends. You know, she got a lot that she hasn't even close to touch in her life, besides the fact that she's a military veteran who loves serving her country, and just so many other things I could go into, but it's her story to share, not my story to share. I love how she talks about finding joy in where you're at, right? That is so powerful right now. Right now, people need to understand that. I say all the time, COVID is not what you think it is. Yes, I pray all the time for all the people we have lost, our families and things like that. But God has us still here for a reason. God has us literally here individually for a reason. So it is your time to take advantage of this extra bonus time, is what I call it, right? Because you're not doing all the things that you used to do. So take advantage of this bonus time. Create something for yourself. Share your stories. Increase your platform. Go global, y'all. We have been forced into the global market. Stop dancing around in your backyard in that pond and let's start dancing in the ocean. Come on now, let's join Shay in the ocean because he been in the ocean. Let's just say that out loud.
Karen, it's always an honor. It's always a privilege. And all of you ladies, what you're doing is truly amazing. I'm blessed to be behind the scenes and bring this message to the world. And so thanks for having us here. I'm getting inspired. I'm getting encouraged. And as I'm doing that, I'm thinking, wow, the best is still yet to come. The best is still yet to come from them. All right. Coming up next, we got the one and only Judy. And she'll be sharing as she comes off mute and everybody else goes on mute. As everyone that goes on mute, she'll be coming off mute in a moment. And she's going to be sharing with us where she's broadcasting in from, the name of her chapter, but more importantly, as they all have done, she'll take a minute or two and kind of share what you can take away from the chapter. You got to get the book, but she's going to share what you can take away from her chapter. But you got to get the book. We'll talk about how to get the book. Don't worry about that. They're going to talk about how to get the book. All right, Judy, coming over to you. Please share with the audience. Take it away.
Okay. My name is Judy Ambrose James, and I'm coming to you from Selma, Texas, and which is close to San Antonio. And my chapter is Activate Faith. And I'm boldly saying those two words, activate faith, because where I'm coming from is to the people out there who have disabling conditions, who gave up and gave out because the faith wasn't there. The faith is so important in this time and any time. There is no rhyme or reason for anybody giving up. And I am an activist for breaking expectations, going over and under what you believe that you can do. And activate faith came to me when I was at my lowest. And I asked God, what can I do? And that's those two words, activate faith. Now, yes, a lot of us have faith, but to activate it and let God really hear you, see you, feel you is to activate. And when I was on Facebook, and Kearn was looking for authors for Make It Happen. Activate faith and God will make it happen. And that, when those two titles put together, I knew what I had to write about. And I started writing about how God made it happen for a massive stroke survivor, a coma survivor, and a double craniotomy survivor. And if he can do it for me, there is no way I could not let everybody know that the God we serve, and I know I can only speak for myself, but the God that I serve will make it happen every time. If you got the faith. And that's how it is for me, Shay. That's what it's all about for me.
Well, I'm feeling you over here. I mean, I'm feeling the energy. I'm going to go over to Martese in a moment. As she's hearing you say that, activate faith, we're going to ask her to come off mute, and she's going to share what's going through her mind. What's going through her mind as she's hearing you talk right now. Martese. I hope I got that. Martese. I can say Martese. It's
You had it right.
Martese. Yes. I'm working on it. Martese. Go ahead and share what's going through your mind right now as you're hearing Judy share her message and her story.
No, I'm just listening to Judy, and I'm just so inspired by, her story, I'm inspired by it. I mean, and just her words and just she's saying it with so much passion, and to know, just a snippet and portion of what she has experienced, it resonates with me too, because each of us in some shape, form, or fashion have taken, have had to take some type of bold and bolder action, if you will, to come out of our situation and circumstance. Just speaking from a personal experience, I can share with, our audience, and I have shared before that in 2016, I had started a business, not just one, but two. And in 2018, I found myself having to close both of those. And it was a challenge. It was a challenge, not only from a physical standpoint, but an emotional, and even it became a mental challenge, because I found myself literally having to start over.
Over.
Yeah. Absolutely. And, there are certain things that become attached to it, because you can look at yourself and say, oh, okay, well, that didn't work, or I failed at that, but I've come to realize, realistically speaking, that it's a matter of perspective, and it all starts, and I share this on my platform every single day.
So it's about
mindset.
It's all
mindset.
So what I'm hearing, it's all about starting over, which is totally amazing. We certainly appreciate those comments. And Judy, as we come back to you before I go over to Karen, she talked about starting over. Take a moment, if you would, maybe 90 seconds or so, and talk to the folks that are out there that are listening, that they're inspired. They're encouraged. They want to make it happen, but like, God, John, I got to start over again. She don't understand. I'm starting over. What would Judy say to the person right now that is starting at the very beginning right now, but they've activated the faith, but now that faith got to hit their feet? It's showtime. What do you say to that person listening right now, Judy?
Well, I would say to effectively activate your faith, you must reaffirm who God is in your life. We need to take him at his word, and then his promises to us are printed in the Bible. Read your Bible. If we do, number one and number two, we will be able to see it is God who makes it happen. That's what I have to say.
Who makes it happen. Said so well. Yes. We're going to go over to the one and only Karen. For those folks that are out there listening right now and you're all tuned in, do me a favor. Look below the video and just put activate your faith. Just put activate faith. Just 2 words. Activate faith. Some of you can just hit the share button. You can hit the share button. If you shared it before, hit it again. Copy the link right now and just pay that message for it. It's time to make it happen. But before you make it happen, you got to activate the faith. Do that now. Do it when now. Do it when now. Now is the time. It's 9 o'clock time. All right. Over to you, Karen. This message, this story. Why? Talk to us.
Oh, my goodness. When I heard Judy's story, I mean, how could you not? I mean, you're talking about somebody who literally embodies walking in faith, right? Somebody who bounced back from a massive stroke. So my background is occupational therapy. So as you know, I watch people from, going from fully functional CEOs, teachers, whatever, lose everything, their ability to do anything, to start over like that, and then come back and have her own. Look, which a lot of people don't have, their own digital business online, even before COVID. Come on. I mean, that takes a faith. And she literally is just proving the scripture, Isaiah 60:22. If you would just let God, then most of us are so busy trying to direct God, right? We trying to give him directions. That's why you're not successful. You can't tell him what to do. He already know what your future is. He knew you from the womb before you even thought of. He knew what you were going to be. So you got to believe. You got to activate your faith. Activate your faith. Stop talking about it. Stop. And I'm talking to you Christians out there. All y'all doing that talking, and you sure ain't doing enough walking. You got to walk in your faith. That's what gets you through. And I'm going to talk to Martese, who talked about her business. Y'all, I've been in business 24 years, and I can tell you right now, when I tell you there's some valleys in business, oh, there's some valleys. I know Shay can talk to you about some valleys. There's some valleys, and you on the other side saying, Lord, but I thought this was for me. Because sometimes, it ain't for you. And that's why you see so many successful billionaires who have failed their way to billions, because you can't allow failure to stop you. It is only that, I call it boulder. It ain't no rocks. These are boulders that land in your road. And you just going to have to figure out how to make it happen. Because when you are walking in your true calling, Proverbs 18:16, when you are walking in your gifts, nobody can stop you. Nobody. Shay, you walking in your gift right now. Hey, the happy entrepreneur comeback champion is here.
Ladies and gentlemen, y'all know y'all all fired up. They're out there right now. They're writing down, activate your faith. This is definitely your moment. Don't worry. Don't worry. The doc is in the house. She'll be coming up in just a second. And Dr. Nafatina will be sharing with us her chapter. She'll be sharing with us her message, and she'll be sharing what you can take away. Don't worry, she's been listening, so she already knows the question. She's been already reframing what she's going to talk about, and that's why she's ready right now. So you out there right now, get ready, because I'm going to ask the question, who is Dr. Nafatina? What's the name of your chapter? And obviously, what's the message from your chapter that you just couldn't wait? I mean, you were ready, like right now, to share with everybody who tuned in, who's taking time away from the television, taking time away from social media, taking time away from their family, to be present right now in this moment. Dr. Nafatina, take it away.
Wow. Listen, I am just filled up over here listening to everyone share their stories, their whys. And I can tell you the truth, Shay. My chapter, When Time Collides with Destiny. And it's all about, when God shows up in the scene, when you're going through that valley low experience, and he picks you up and he sets your feet. Hallelujah. And I just tell you, I'm just excited. Judy, listen, you have inspired me tonight that no matter what, we rise and we have to keep on keeping on. And so my chapter really, I decided to go a different route, Shay, than I have in other anthologies with this particular book. And that was, I decided to share about Nafatina, the one that grew up from that little girl to that young lady into that woman. And, so I take you on a little bit of a journey in my story and in my chapter, and how life happens to us all. But what are we going to do with it when it does? And so in the chapter, I talk about how I grew up, though it wasn't a bad upbringing. I had all the things I needed. My needs were met, but there was still dysfunction in the home. There were still things happening that I could not control at that time. So what did I do? I had to yield in that time so that God could guide me along the way. And there were dreams that I had, and there was aspirations that I had, and there were things I wanted to do in life that I had to appear or apparently seem to have given up on in order to move forward. But God showed up in that time and in that season for me, like he will do for you. He will show up when you least expect it. I believe it was Kearn that said it earlier in so many words. I'll kind of paraphrase. She said, we got to get out of the way so that God can do what he needs to do. Because sometimes we're in our own way. And so we need to get out of the way so God can really come on the scene and show up. And so my chapter talks about that. It talks about how I felt and what I was going through in life and how I had to leave school. A lot of people don't realize that, because I've gone on to school to become an honorary doctorate. I received my degree in college. I'm currently in school getting my doctorate in psychology and counseling. And I tell you, people would never understand that this young lady had to give up in her last year. When you're ready, I was looking forward to going to a wonderful HBCU college, I was ready. But life happened to me, and I had to make a decision. And in making that decision, I had to leave home in that season. And that caused me to go behind in a year of school. But I came back. I came back, and I came back stronger. I came back wiser, and I came back with a husband. So I'm going to tell you, when life happens, just understand that you're not alone. Even in those midnight hours when you feel that you're all alone, you're not alone. God is there. You have to close your eyes and just see, even if it's just a little pin dot of a light. There is light in the tunnel with you. Not at the end of the tunnel. There's light in the tunnel with you while you're going through. So listen, you can make it happen because God has put it in you to do so.
Yeah.
And you are not alone in this journey called life.
You're not
alone. That's my chapter, Shay.
Yeah, you're not alone in this journey of life. And what have you enjoyed most as you share so passionately? I love that. What have you enjoyed most about participating in this particular anthology?
Wow. I mean, I share with Martese, listen, I was like, I literally heard the voice of God say, you need to reach out to this lady. And I don't want to get emotional, but I just want you, Kearn, Cherry, to know that you are making a difference in this life. You are a woman that we know have risen up, has gone forward. You are trailblazing the way and you are leading it forward. And you are building legacy for us so that we can see that we too can follow and do the same thing. So I want to say thank you. And I know, that's one of the things that I've been able to do is to just rise up and move forward. That's what I heard. Listen, contact this lady and then, things are going to happen for you. And here I am in the Make It Happen anthology. And I am loving every minute of it.
Loving it. What an honor. What a privilege. Thanks so much for sharing. Karen Cherry, you're listening to the fire. You're listening to the passion. You can hear it in the voice of each of these individuals that have gone around. But talk about this particular chapter. Why did you decide to include it in this book?
Well, for me, I just hearing and reading pieces of her story, I can relate. I was a teen mom. I was in high school. I had to walk across that stage 7 months pregnant. I had to give up what I was thinking I was going to do. I thought I was going to be an engineer along with my brother, and I had to change my plan, and I look back at that, and I'm telling y'all, I know listen to Nefertiti, what she's sharing is so close to a lot of women. How many of us had to give up the dreams and the hopes that we thought we had? Because we were either pregnant, you had a family. My husband was in the military. When I gave up the engineer, and then I had to put a nursing on hold because he went overseas. So it was like, okay, one more thing, Lord, let's keep going. Got to follow my husband, right? And so, and yes, we've been married 35 years this year. That being said, I look back and I realize we think we're creating our own journey. It's not the journey that we think and we dream about. Sometimes there's tweaks because God already had a plan for us, right? And so I think about, after Hurricane Katrina, this makes me really think about this. After Hurricane Katrina, I had been traveling with my children and planning for them to play tennis. They call them Venus and Serena and all this stuff. We gonna go pro. Well, hello, Katrina changed that, right? Or just better yet, God changed that. At the end of the day, he had a bigger plan for them. They're both, one's a medical doctor, one's a dentist. And then my son he owns his own international moving service. But I couldn't have seen that because I was the mama saying this is the plan, right? This was the plan, So I did that all the way through my life, and now God is showing me, let me run the show. So and look at the doctor over here. She literally going for her doctorates. Hello, she already got her honorary. Now she going back again. So it's never too late as well, that I find in her story. And when she put in there that she was driven and she wanted to prove that she could make it happen. And you can see it, you can hear it in her story. So you definitely want to read these stories. These ladies are sharing some powerful story, and it's gonna change somebody's life, Shay. This story is gonna change somebody's life. There's some young woman who thought her life was gone because she had a kid young, or she had to leave home young, or whatever it is, but she don't have to do that. She don't have to do that. It's not over. It's not over.
And you already have changed someone's life. As they're listening to you right now, the life has already been changed, and many more will be changed because of each of your messages, each of your stories, each of your experiences, and because of your expertise and your vision, many of you right now, to make this happen for someone else. And then that where it all starts. What I like to do right now, Karen, is I like to go back around. Folks are probably curious, what line of business are these individuals in? And more importantly, how can folks connect with them? I mean, how can they connect with them? I mean, each of these episodes are always different, by the way. And this has been so not only inspiring, but it's also been uplifting, but you've also given details. So we're going to go back the way we started to make it kind of easy. So I'll go with Martese first, and I'll ask you to share with them in 60 seconds or so, or I'll say 90 seconds or less. 90 seconds or less. The audience likes the less more than the 90 seconds. Just to let y'all know that. They like the less more than the 90 seconds. But tell them, what line of business are you in, and how can folks best connect with you? Over to you, Martese.
Thank you. So I am a real estate professional, and I am a personal and business consultant and coach. And I assist women and entrepreneurs with increasing their, financial portfolio via real estate to help them create a legacy and also create generational wealth. They can best find me at my email at theworkitOutrealtor@gmail.com. And I'd love to connect and share and collab. So looking forward to hearing from others.
Yeah, the Work It Out Realtor. I like that. The Work It Out Realtor. That's kind of cool. All right, I like them all. That's funny. I never heard that. That's pretty good. All right, so next, Vaughn. So we're now going over to Vaughn. Vaughn, tell them what line of business you're in and how they can best connect with you.
Yeah, so it's like ministry for me. I say that my life is all around life and limb. So I own an occupational safety and health compliance company. I've been a business owner there. This is our 14th year this year. And I also have a nonprofit. I am a strong advocate for our female veterans, especially those that face homelessness. That led me to becoming a transitional coach because I found myself from ministering with these women that there was a greater resource needed. And that was really the boots on the ground, helping them identify the changes that they were going through and how to get through them with joy, without regret. But how are we going to make this transition with joy? So that led me to becoming a transitional coach. They can find me at joyrestoredoutreach.org or talk to Vaughn. Thank you.
Talk to Vaughn. Thanks so much. We certainly appreciate that. Thank you so much. Judy, over to you. Tell us what line of business you're in and how can folks best connect with you.
Okay, I think I got it.
You got it.
Well, okay. I have a online business. It's Judy Smiles and Gifts of Unique Treasures, and I've designed inspirational T-shirts, and I have my special shirt is if you can't find a reason to smile, borrow mine. And I want everyone all over the world to wear one of those shirts because it really makes somebody smile. And then you can go to Judy Smiles and Gifts on Facebook. And I am an admin over Activate Faith and Resilient Women. So you can find me under either one of those. I'm really, really active, y'all. So come look me up.
I love it. Said so well. Thanks so much for sharing. All right, going over to the one and only, the doc over there in the house. Tell them what line of business are you in and how can they best connect with you?
So my line of business is serving. We serve. My husband and I work together in life and in business. We are relationship experts. We're both ministers of the gospel, and we support you to achieve balance and stability in life and in business through biblical principles, to have a more effective communication and within your relationships. And so we serve in that capacity, but I also have a nonprofit. It is Covenant Rescue 911, which is a 24-hour hotline for couples and families in crisis. We are currently in the process of building a facility that will have a 72-hour overnight stay for a couple or family in crisis. And you can contact us by our social media handle is theserranos360.com or marriage CEOs with an S 360.com, and you'll have access to all of our social media handles in one location.
Thank you so much for sharing. We certainly appreciate that. Karen, tell the folks how can they best get the book? Sure, share what you do as well, obviously. Share what you do as the visionary over there. And then tell folks that are like on the edge of their seats. They're like, no one told me where to get the book. Where do I get the book, Shay? I don't know where the book is. We want the book. We want the book. We want the book. We want the book. So talk to us.
Oh my goodness. First of all, Shay, I'm just listening to these amazing women. And first of all, I love what Dr. Serrano is doing, especially with the shelter and stuff. I'm real passionate. My husband and I are both passionate about helping other people. And most people don't realize it's very hard to place families as a whole. I actually sit on a board called Rebecca House, where we place whole families in a home, including teenage sons, which a lot of people don't realize that's really hard to do. So that being said, I just wanted to hats off to what you're doing. It's an amazing thing. And I can't help but to say I love Judy's quote. If you can't find a reason to smile, borrow mine. Somebody please type that in the chat. That is such an amazing quote. I love it. Every time I hear it, I'm just like, oh my goodness, I love to hear that saying, because it's just right now. So many people need to smile. They just need to smile. And when you see somebody who survived like she has, Shay, man, how can you not be empowered and encouraged? And then my good old friend Bun over here that forgot to drop in there her War II book anthology. So as the project manager, I'm going to have to start putting this out here because somebody ain't doing her job. We're looking for veteran women, y'all. We're looking for spouses, dependents, somebody to share their story. I'm going to encourage you. Listen to the title, Her War II. Do you know how many women go and they're with their spouses and they feel like they're in the military and they got stories to share? How many military women are in the military and they don't even feel like they're a part, right? Because it's like you're just in your own little corner because you're a woman. Her War II. It's their war too. Share your story, y'all. It's time to share your story. I'm telling y'all going to see me starting next week because I'm a pusher. We going to share that story out. It's time for y'all women to start sharing your story. It's your war too. So that you go to Devon, or you can contact me because I'm going to send you over to Devon anyway. That being said, Shay, I had to lead into none other than level up. That's right. It's time to level up. Y'all, if you are feeling down, you feel like you don't know where to go, you need to sign up for Level Up Virtual Summit. You don't have to leave your house. You don't have to leave your room. You don't have to get dressed up. You just need to join us April the 16th through the 18th, where these beautiful women will be joining us on panels. Some of them are going to be doing their own presentation as well, and they're going to be sharing. You don't want to miss it. If you hadn't been to one of my conferences, you know I'm the co-founder and director of the Success Women's Conference, where we had over 17,000 people last year in attendance. That's right. So you know we're bringing it. And if you hadn't been to the website, y'all, we're going to do a special announcement for Time to Level Up. Time2levelup.com. That website, look, y'all thought I was thrilled about Woman on Fire? Wait till you see Time to Level Up. Go there, register now, go to that page. And I do have a few more slots for speakers, but you better get it now. You better get it now, because I'm telling you, we got to shut that part down. That being said, yes, make it happen. You can go right now. Oh, y'all, I can't tell it. I just can't. I just saw my cover. Oh, Lord, Shay, my cover. Girl, let me tell you, go to kerncherry.com/make-it-happen. That cover is about to come out. Y'all, you got to get yours. You got to get yours, because we finna make this pop. You know, I'm all about making it pop. Go there to my website, sign up. I'll send you the information, because we going to do a book release. We going to be number one. We are going to be number one. Let's say it out loud. We going to be number one, because you know if God is in it, and I already told you he's in it, we going to be number one. Right, Shay? So
absolutely.
If you want to connect to Kearn, y'all know my favorite location, Clubhouse. Clubhouse is the place. That's right, Clubhouse. Clubhouse is outdone LinkedIn. Yes, I'm doing a Women's Day event on March the 31st. Join us. There's going to be some of us women throughout the day in Clubhouse. Go to K Connection, link with me, Kearn Cherry. You can go also link with me on LinkedIn. That's my second favorite spot. You know that, Shay. In addition to that, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Snapchat, TikTok. You can find me on all those sites. Connect to me right now or go to kerncherry.com. And yes, Success Women's Conference, successconference.info. And yes, Power Up Summit. PowerUpSummit.com is coming to you mid-July.
Mid-July. Thanks so much for sharing, man. All the passion, all the fire. It's showtime. It's time to make it happen. And as you're listening out there, hit the share button. Hit the watch party button. Pay this message forward to someone else. If you did it before, do it again. You might wonder, how do I give a digital applause? Well, the way to give a digital applause is to hit that share button. Pay the message forward. Help someone else along this journey so they too can make it happen. All right, we're coming down the home stretch now, by the way, and I'm going to ask these ladies if they'll take a few minutes, and if they'll each take maybe 90 seconds and share their closing thoughts to empower you, to inspire you, so you can go out and do more, be more, and more importantly, you can make it happen. And here's how it's going to work. I'm going to go to them, and then they're going to once again tell you how to best connect with them. That's your cue, ladies. And then they're going to share their closing comments to empower you, inspire you. Oh, they've got more. Oh, they've got more. Oh, don't worry. They're just getting started. All right. And we'll keep it the way we started so y'all can follow along in how we're doing this. We'll start with Martese. I got it now. Martese. I got that right? Martese.
Martese, yes.
I should have looked at your name. That would help me, right? Again, Martese. I keep saying Treese. Martese, we're going to turn over to you. Thanks so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We certainly appreciate it. How can they best connect with you? And more importantly, what are your final thoughts in 90 seconds or less?
So the best way for them to connect with me is through email at theworkitoutrealtor@gmail.com. And I'm also on all social media platforms on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, as well as she says, Clubhouse now too. So, but all of the social media platforms. If I can share and provide just a small, piece of information and a takeaway, I would say take action. That's the best thing that you could do for yourself. Take action, but most importantly, take an investment in you. Bet on yourself. That was the biggest thing that I had to learn how to do, is to bet on me. And if I can encourage the next individual, I would say bet on you, invest in you, and believe in you. Those are the words that I would say. But most importantly, too, is take action and do what you need to do to make it happen, to change your current situation so that you can come out on top and on the other side.
On top, on the other side. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Over to you, Von Griggs. Talk to us. Tell us how they can best connect with you. And how they can best connect with you and your final thoughts.
Yes. So for the occupational safety and health, they can find me at GriggsSafetyConsultants.com. For coaching, for ministry, they can find me at joyrestoredoutreach.org or at Talk to Von. I am not as vastly spread out over all social media, but you can find me on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and I've tagged a page or a room or club on Clubhouse. I haven't activated it yet. So you can find me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. One thing I'd like for each of our listeners to identify with is what in your life is no longer serving you. It's draining you. It's causing you fatigue, disappointment. As two of our co-hosts have shared, what our lives is to us may be a surprise, but God already predestined it. The areas that you are fatigued or you weak, know that the joy of the Lord is your strength, can be your strength, and He will guide you through whatever you're facing. I want you to show gratitude and start living this life with joy on the journey. Things will happen. They won't always be pleasant, but even in the unpleasant places, there is something to be grateful for. That's what I leave with you. I inspire you to seek to have joy on your journey. God bless you all.
God bless you. Thank you so much for sharing. We certainly appreciate it. Judy, over to you to share with the audience how they can best connect with you. More importantly, your final thoughts to encourage and inspire individuals. And thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show.
Well, you can best find me at JudySmilesAndGifts.com, and you can find me at Activate Faith and Resilient Women on Facebook. And you can find me on April the 2nd at 6 o'clock at the Clubhouse, where I will be activating faith again. And I want you to know that God is calling on everyone to come together and take part in a movement solely fueled by love. And when you speak a breakthrough before it happens, you activate faith, and then you invite victory into your life. That's what I want to leave everyone with.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Says so well. Thank you so much. Thank you for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We certainly appreciate it. We're going over to the one and only Dr. Nafatina. Take it away, by the way. I've asked them all the same question, by the way. I think it's very important. Folks want to know how they can best connect with you. It's a good reminder. And then more importantly, what are your final thoughts and comments to empower and inspire folks who are listening right now?
Awesome. Thank you so much, Shay. Yes, you can connect with me. I am finally, Kearn. I finally got it. Just so you know, it took me a while. Oh my goodness. I was trying to get in, but you had to get that iPad or that iPhone. So here we go. You can connect with me on, as I stated, Marriage CEOs with an S, 360.com. It will give you access to all social media handles, but I am on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram. I'm on all of the social medias, and either by Covenant Marriages or Marriage CEOs. And you can also see me on by my name, Nefertina Serrano. What I would like to leave with you tonight, today, this morning, evening, wherever you are, I want you to know, be encouraged. Be encouraged, because no matter how hard it gets, there's simply nothing too hard for God. So I want you to know that, God says, lo, I will be with you always. And he means that. And when you are down, he will pick you up. And lastly, I just want to say, it's a little excerpt from the chapter. Of course, you got to get it to read it all. But it says, when you put God first, he will work all things out together for your good. God's timing is perfect. Please know that. His timing is perfect. Don't wait for something to happen. You be the one to make it happen, because when time collides with destiny, miracles are sure to happen. God bless you.
God said so well. Thanks so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Going over to the one and only Karen to kind of close us out strong, if you would. I know you already had the comments. You said some things, but I want to make sure that you tell folks once again how to best connect, and any final thoughts you have for those folks who have been tuned in that are ready to make it happen. And in a moment, these lights are all going to go off. This fiber, we won't be broadcasting through these fiber optic lines, and they'll be back. They'll be with their computer, and someone will have their phone, and they got to make it happen. And so what are your final thoughts and comments to them? It's showtime now.
I want to encourage you to take advantage of the time that you're in. That if anything that you do right now is that you take the time to create your own door to opportunity. I don't care if you're a CEO on a job. I don't care if you're a janitor on a job, you're a cook, you're a secretary, whoever you are. We've been given a moment in time that does not come often, sometimes never, for some generations of people. And so I encourage you, if you haven't learned anything from the time that we are currently living in, the whole world is living in the same time that you're living in. And everybody has learned that I got to go to this too in order to actually do something. I can't just be, home and shut it down and just, everything goes on and I don't know. Now we're all being forced to the global ocean. I encourage you to create something in this global ocean that you can call your own. And if you're really smart, you'll create 7 streams of revenue. So you're never dependent on nothing but God, right? Because that's your ultimate provider. That's who gives for you. And as they often say, closed mouths don't get fed. Right. You got to ask to receive. So I tell you, spend some time with him and ask him for what you need. Ask. Don't assume that he knows, because yes, he does know. But that being said, you need to ask, right? So I'm encouraging everybody, your time is now, not tomorrow, not next year, not I'm gonna wait a couple of years and watch what everybody is doing. Your time is now. You want to speak? You want to get on the stage? Follow me, join me, connect to me. I have enough conferences coming that people can actually get on stages. Time2levelup.com, time2levelup.com. That's the conference coming up. Power Up Summit is coming right behind it, and Success Women Conference is too. But all that being said, you can always go to kerncherry.com.
With that being said, thank you, ladies. Thank everyone that's been a part of the Make It Happen project, for those folks that are telling their stories and sharing their messages, and for those folks that are supporting all the authors that are in it. We thank you. Thank you for tuning in. For all of you, hit the share button. Rose is out there. Tanya Blackwood is out there. Homer is always in the house, by the way. Michael, I see you in New York. Gina, so many folks of you who are tuned in right now. We appreciate you across all the many platforms that you're watching. I can't always see them all at this moment, but I do know this about you. You're a winner. I know that you're a champion. I know only champions show up, and for you, it's time for you to make it happen, and that I believe in you. With that being said, for those folks that are curious, my name, by the way, is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone, and I promise you from the bottom of my heart, we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. Remember, time is long. Life is short. You got to live in that moment. And you got to make it count. God bless you. Wish you success. Bye-bye, ladies. Tell them bye. Tell them we appreciate you. You're all winners. This is your moment. And for all of you, still, the best is yet to come. Make it happen. The best is yet to come. We got to go. We out of here. Peace. Promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win.
Yeah.
Thank you. God bless.